He has to fall back towards defensive position on the A side, and RPK, he's patrolling middle with shots as well. The initial smokes come in from Ncwd. You can see they actually do the wall of smokes towards middle to take vision away. I mean, you have to react to try and rotate into them, but presumably, and then you can actually Molotov the other positions. This is what they decide to do. That's a Molotov towards Vent from Salazar, actually forces the CD back towards the B side, so when they're going towards there, it's a great place to force him back to. First kill comes in. Shoxy alone on the A side, got nothing to work with there. No flashbangs, nothing. He had to go a little bit more aggressive. He hit the forklift. We saw Stanis there. Because they see Stanis is overall no kits. Okay, one comes in. They're still lacking the incendiaries. This should be another round going middle. And it's going to be him taken down into a 4-on-3. And the round should be over this stage. Still pretty comfortable for GT overall, but we'll see what the next round brings. Optics certainly will have cash available, and we'll see whether they can close things out nice and early. Or we'll have another one.
I never played a big stadium like this, so it's really awesome. The crowd's amazing.
A little bit of pressure on you guys, being North America. He will be confronted. This is the first two shots, and he does spot 3 players.
And very fast rotation from Olaf already in the meeting. They would have spotted this knowing that no one crossed over. Dupree laid the tunnels to lurk the problem for them now. Oh, he's covered off as Twitch gets 2. Brilliant spot this play, but it's going to be Dupree holding off. So the issue is if they can get Catwalk back on the pistol, they have retake potential. Now Lecro's got to go underneath the spawn. Dupree's going to try and work back toward his teammate as he needs to.
Jump at this point, but regardless, Twist doesn't get a chance to use it. Dupree rips his head off the space towards mid doors with that AK-47 and gets that man advantage.
Which also could dictate how teams play second rounds now, because we know that's one of the big things with it, specifically on B-sided Mirage. You can use it here on the A side over the boxes. You can use it toward the ramp, as we've seen Chris J do in the past. It does start to dictate, because if they can't get that damage in for free, if they're in the open, they're more vulnerable, then you don't get the damage in for the pistols. Is it worth the investment? But we see 2 of them here. Shot on the first to start off, but the damage and fires in. It's Zipex and Kerrigan down. Kirby will recover the bomb, but he's got to backpedal away. AK-47 for him. Gun dropped out toward long. Went in, hearing them backpedal as well from the pick, could potentially go to pick one up. Olaf's going to get out of that position as well, and they'll go for the retake, but it's Lecro that's inside the B site. Deagle in hand. And he's already spotted from the window, trying to shuffle over. Device came through middle with the UMP, and he's going to hold for the rotations as well.
Great stuff there from Wentz. They're still a 3-on-3. Don't have the kits, obviously, but they have the scouts and an AK-47. That was a key exchange as Device comes out on top there with that aggressive position towards scaffolding, but still damage being done as he does land a scout shot towards Device. Then it's coming in with the scout now, AK-47 and Wenton. He's going to be joining him as well, but I'm not sure too much of it. The first kill comes in favor of Device.
And Wenton had armor, so it could have been something to work with, but no kits was the bigger problem. Dennis has elected to pick up the the AK. Not quite the AWP.
Not yet.
They won't get much done with it.
They won't have the AWP available, and if they do, it'll come down to Wenton with the 2500 right now, dropping over and a glass cannon for his team, and we'll see whether that comes into fruition. But for this one, at least, Estrada's going to get 4 AKs out. Kerrigan want to play.
Came back into its own just because you had
right. I'm still finishing the old mindset. They've gone for a pass to buy here, that's why using the pause. They definitely had options to get AKs, but it doesn't matter this round though. Hoffmeister nails 2 orb shots there to open things up. They're trying to go fast towards short and middle. Does not work out for him. He shuts them down, and it's going to be a 5-on-3. His Device. He edges his way towards the B side. He manages to negate the Molotov as well, but he does get ticked, so you can see this raw here that I'm sure Lecro is going to be aware. He's close range.
Deagle definitely gives his position away. Olaf's going to beat him to the punch. It's 3 out of 3 kills so far. Oh, the leg shot. Kerrigan will get it back. No ace to come through just yet.
He has to fall back there, so we can't recover the AWPs. There's still only 2 Tech 9s and no grenades, and Kerrigan with 15 HP. This is going to be desperately trying to open up the A side any way they can, but surely that's going to be it now. The CD should be able to capitalize. Except the other, and from height, from range, they're taking the fight too. Fanatics losing numbers everywhere. Kerrigan, another kill down to 2 versus 2 with Olaf. He pulls back in with 1. Kerrigan has this planted. The decision not to go for Catwalk, it leaves them in prime, but they're on the defuse, and he gets dropped. Twist to win the round for them. Show some presence towards short. Has to be careful though, as his teammates do go back towards B. In terms of grenades, they've got a couple of flashbangs and a Molotov. Not enough to actually go for the mid-split. You need a smoke at least to actually even attempt that. He wants to play here, Dupree. Very proficient with the Deagle, looking at that first pick as he does go first.
Back away slightly as well, still this man deficit. We talked a little about Lecro leading into this. He hasn't had to do much 3 and 5. He's been playing rotation over to A mostly. They haven't really hit him hard on the B site. And when they have, he's either isolated or Olaf's been getting the bulk of the kills. This time round, Olaf lines up, can't get the kill through as Zipics down to 17. What a shot through the block. And it's going to give Dupree the entrance. Lekra only able to compensate for one. Twist is in window early, but a Molotov immediately to his position. Goes a little deep, but it will spread backwards. He elects not to fight forward. He's got to wait for rotations. So 3 versus 3, a bomb plant coming in for Astralis. But an AWP on Kerrigan and an M4 picked up on Kirby. It's only Dupree left with a Deagle to hold off 2 kits. And now 1 flash, no flash is left as they go over. They're going to go quick to try and cut them off. Dupree still Benton getting a kill is beneficial because now the rifle has to hold off Benton. And Kerrigan and Kirby will do exactly that.
Well, there it is. There was one more brought in.
Space for Olaf Meister as he fires as Olaf runs. As soon as he stops, it's back to walking up. He gets them off with the jumping off. Can't find it. And it's going to be Device taken down. Spray transfer not there. Benton's got it as expected. Fnatic will go 9-6. And they elect to stick together. It's round 15. No reason not to.
You know what's going to be happening there, and against these sort of players like Dupree, giving them opportunity to spray down multiple targets on the screen, that can be
very good at holding angles on the CT side that now has the obligation of doing so again here. And Lekra's going to play it off of him as well. This is strictly to hold this position. What a shot from Dupree as he walks up Olaf down. That's going to pull Lekra's position back, and they're going to go on CT. They're going to give up catwalk. They want strength in numbers, but the position, it's still strength from above, and death from above as Benton will take Device's head off. It's down to a 1 versus 1 and bomb planted for him. Kerrigan's gone. It's going to go 13-6, and Benton's in a prime position to try and catch him on the cross. Kerrigan's aware of it. But if the AWP goes down, it could be punishing. That's a big kill at least to keep the gun alive. Yeah, it's down to a 3 versus 3 again as the smokes there will prevent. Smokes there being Gorg will prevent the cross. A re-entry from any Astralis players. Not the same plan at default. Lekra goes triple stack. Nearly gets tagged down through the smoke because of it. No one yet inside of the tunnels. They're all going to stay inside the site. That information will be relayed as soon as Kerrigan gets in position as he's gone all the way around through T-spawn with the M4. And he's one of the 2 players, Zipics being the other with a kit.
The retake comes in, the incendiary is dropped as well. That's going to be key. It's going to force Olaf into a difficult position, but they've got the smokes down as well. The retake comes in, this killer is vital. Olaf gets it, but Zipecs chimes in with the UMP. It's going to be a 2 versus 1. He's the last player remaining. SMG to work with, and there it is. Dennis finishes things off 14-6.
Remember, Olaf spotted. Remember, there is the shadow position here. So now that he's gone outside the long cave, it's very hard to get back in. Flash will allow him to do so, but Device smartly gets away. There's no need to give up any kills considering the situation right now.
Yeah, definitely not. Just need to stay alive there, Astralis. Don't need to overface this. The money isn't the bin at the moment, so every kill is going to be valuable for Fnatic. They're trying to bully their way towards the long area there. At that point, they had the decent spawn, but Astralis have 3 players there. Shut it down. It's Kerrigan with 2 frags as well, getting that final one through the smoke. So this should be round over. Should be being the offensive statement there. As we hit the 1 minute mark, you can see Olaf Meister working with the AWP towards long doors. But Device and Kerrigan, a clever setup for them. As soon as one player goes down, they're going to get the refrag. So shouldn't be too scary in this scenario.
Device is in such a perfect position not peeking that. As soon as Olaf's this wide in the peak and spots Kerrigan, it's a crossfire set. So long as Kerrigan doesn't make a mistake right now and show himself when he's behind the bin.
It's fine.
Okay, he's gone into the false sense of security. Good job, at least for Device to pull it back. That could have been.
Gets completely punished for it. 5 on the 4. One step closer to match point here. At this point, Fnatic don't really need to commit. You can see they've actually got 4 players outside the B tunnels waiting for a reaction. Dust 2 is another map similar to Cash in that respect. As soon as you lose a frag and you lose a part of the map, you need to be reclaiming parts on the other side. They won't be doing that for now. They're actually going to just have 1 player towards the B side. That's Kerrigan. But he has got the AWP ready to defend.
Ready to defend indeed, but out toward middle with no one else inside of the B side with him. So he's got to pick his battles here quite cleverly, and I think this is the one he needs to focus on. Obviously, as we know what it is, but it's so vulnerable if he plays that window position instead. He's out from the left. He wasn't set. He wasn't ready. Benton nails it. They're going to go in. And that point potentially on the line here for Fnatic is Zipics, Dupree, and Kirby that have to rotate back over toward the B side. 2 kits. That's all they've got. 2 Molotovs. I suppose. Yep. They're going to back it up.
The money was weak anyway. We saw Device. He pushes middle with an MP9. I'm not sure that's the right call. Surely you want to be getting the UMP. That's a weapon that's viable in closer in scenarios. You play a bit more defensive. They had an AWP as well, and it was a bit of an all-in moment, and it goes against him at that point. It was just Fnatic playing the numbers game, and Kerrigan, he had to step up there. He goes on the platform. Benton just blows his head off over the AK. That was the shot. That was the one that decided the round pretty much, and he can't land it. And it will be 15-8 at this point. Tough times from Astralis, but we do say their CD side is one of the best in the world and does too, so maybe they still have enough in the chamber here to actually pull back, and money still is available. It's not like they've been completely broken here. It's a tough and bitter pill to swallow in this scenario, allowing Fnatic to get to 15-8, but they're trying to look at the bigger picture and say, well, we need money going forward here. It's very unlikely we'll win this round, and Zipex finally comes to Olaf Meister. Ultimately doesn't mean too much, but maybe they can upgrade.
Fnatic inside of the site, but it does mean inside of the site. They now have control as Kirby goes aggressive. That could cost them dearly as it's back to a 3 versus 3 as a result. And bomb plant sure to come in as soon as the jump's done. That's already gone off. Olaf Meister's the one to do so. Default plant as well. And one player already, at least for Astralis, has made progress in the tunnels and close to the mouth already is Kerrigan. As the smoke will go in. Bounce smoke could cover off the back of the site against Dennis. Counter flash to buy him space. He can start to focus out toward window and the doorway. He's gonna have to shuffle wide because his teammate down inside by default. Olaf still focusing on door directly. Good Molotov to force him out, but that smoke is actually gonna work. Kerrigan finds the opening inside of the closet. It's Lecro with only 1 kill, and they actually pull it off in the 3 versus 3 with a very convincing fashion.
It didn't look like
He was looking to form to start this game off, but this round certainly Astralis is back into it. Lecro tries to get Fnatic back on the board, but immediately Kerrigan finds Dennis. It's down to Twist and Lecro with 2 HP as he tries to spray in the mid. Nade's not going to be enough. As the player he was searching for has already relocated himself inside of the B position to B site. It's Dupree. And he's now in the hot seat as well when they start to converge onto that position.
You can see Fnatic now trying to finish this one off in the simplest fashion. They've tried a few B takes, just walking into the B side. Now they're trying a long take to the start, but in terms of the brawls that are happening on long A and B, it's actually Astralis coming out on top, but maybe something to work with there.
That's huge. That goes down, and Lecro has no time to respond with 2 HP. So he does slow them and kill one. Twist now left under his lonesome. If they had been able to walk past that and get the second kill, bring it to a 2 versus 2, you might have thought there would have been a chance for Fnatic, but
there's a chance here, you know. Still have a chance.
Device, you're dead right. He might. 37 seconds, doesn't have to commit to this plant. They wanted to play it together. They wanted to concede the bomb plant. Twist has done well to find that first kill. He's going to buy even more time. Nade toward the tunnels. Thrown from Kerrigan from far to try and sell the fact that he's in that position, but he's actually rotated back to play with his teammate. Bomb's going to go down inside safe spot. And Twist immediately does turn his attention to where he last heard the sound cue. How aggressive does he want to go in this? He knows they're going to bust in together when they do. There's no utility aside from the Molotov. They haven't spotted him. He's isolated it. He's pulled it down. Twist, he could win the game right here. And Kerrigan spent a lot of ammo trying to switch system. Fnatic move up. Astralis move down.
Too far away from that now. You need another win, and then maybe the semi-finals come back. And what would be a good result for the new Fnatic lineup here?
I mean, our goal is go to the playoff, but everyone in our team is always aiming to win. But we will be happy with the playoffs, but of course we want to win.
Of course. You've spent many years with the other players that you played with and tasted success upon success and triple major championships. Where do you find the motivation now? Is it different now with new players on board?
Yeah, of course. Like we have the new guys, they're bringing a lot of motivation, but at the same time, like our old team, we didn't like to play anymore. It was something we practiced for just to practice. We didn't really practice anything. So right now we have a lot of motivation and we have so much fun together. It's really fun to play.
Yeah, you do seem to be enjoying your Counter-Strike again.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, one final question. I just want to work with the old boys in the other team. They haven't done quite as well as perhaps people thought they might do. I know you'll keep an eye on them and see what they're doing. What do you make of them so far, Godsend?
They're struggling right now, but they're going to be a lot better for sure.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Olaf Meister.
Very aggressive over there towards the T ramp. 2 of their own for FNX pushing in. Well, no one from the T side will place their players, and that's holding back a little bit on the steps position further into the site. So letting them gain this early on. The only area where they may have trouble is actually transitioning this onto the sites, but early control is indeed going to be a very easy thing for them to pick up. Not only this too, but of course keeping Flamey on the lurk up towards the T ramp, and also having C's just outside of the underpass position in the back B halls.
Yeah, Navi's going to be very, very content, obviously, to just sit back, wait for any pushes, wait for any peaks, just trying to find that information. They obviously, these second rounds can be so incredibly dangerous, so taking their time very much, seeing if there's any of that aggression they just saw in the pistol. Actually, this is scary now. 2 missed smokes for Navi. It's not the end of the world, but they're running out of utility. They have 1 HE nade, and that just shows a little bit of lack of polish on the utility usage.
But they are going to start to move their way in from Cat with 3 moving in from here. Cole trying to hunt a little bit here with the Deagle, but not picking up anything. Taco actually gets a nice flash and is able to sneak off a kill at the very least. However, it's already been traded back out into a 4-on-3, and the remaining CTs have been boxed out pretty nicely. Flamey moving in there actually gets lit up quite a bit, but still isn't contained.
Small point of danger for Navi. If Taco's able to get 1 more kill, that's the bomb as well in Halls, and then all of a sudden Navi has to go on the long route of trying to find him. So they're very fortunate, and now Simple again, he's just going to clean things up. Precision as Fallen gets taken out.
Beautiful shots coming out from him. Already picking up 2 there on the pistol as well. So a great start for Simple, and we can see that already on the scoreboard. 5-0 just within these first 2 rounds. And FNX obviously not going to get anywhere near that B-bomb site now, just holding back, hoping he can catch at least 1 or 2 players, trying to move out to hunt him down.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario for FNX, find an AK-47 at the end of the round, find some kind of a rifle. I don't think they're going to give it to him, and I doubt he even really hunts it. He's got a 5.7 in armor, so something he can still gets caught.
And with that, again, Navi out the first advantage here. And again, we'll move immediately as well to take that mid control after finding that initial kill. Had a big focus of players here in the back B halls initially, but now we're sending them through underpass. 2 of them here, 2 of them already up at top mid. Fallen obviously watching out for this. There's no flashbangs or anything moved out yet. There's the first one, but it doesn't affect Fallen. He picks up that kill. The smoke to try and keep him inside, but it doesn't work. He's able to get out of there for now, although he does lose about 40 of his health.
That's actually, that's scary. That was actually interesting though, because it looked like Fallen was hit by that flash. It just, it faded so quickly. So Navi's got to be a little bit stressed. Simple's got to be a little bit unhappy about that one. Coming through the smoke, Cold's going to find a kill. The man with the mustache doing work.
That leaves now the rest of Navi trying to push their way through cap, but still having to deal with this impending danger of Cold here. Ooh, unfortunate timing on the peek from Guardian on scopes just as we were about to see the peek from Cold himself. Cold still alive and still definitely dangerous from this position, and not only this too, but we're waiting back over here to catch these players on the flank right now as Navi try to move in. Perfect timing as soon as he sees that pop right out, picks up the kill, even gets the second one behind Arches, and we're finally take out Cold. He's not going to survive for much longer. FNX finds the final kill. It's a
first spell where he had to sit out, and they won't lose that now. If they can't salvage that ADP, that's a strategy they want to be able to run. Guardian's still alive, they can't let anyone.
Traded up by Edward. Ball looks for the response shot, but cannot get it. Maintaining control with another pickup from Guardian here too. Falling to Taco to maintain some damage, but he can't do anything. Still smoked out and now stuck behind this Molotov as well. It's looking grim for SK.
Yeah, and C's is on the flank from this B bomb site, so Cold, I mean, he's at least hidden for now, but if he comes through this murder hole, then Cold has no chance of surviving this battle. He's not even appearing. It's going to be a... Just goes for the double stab instead of the single. I'm not quite sure. I mean, they just think it's the back, it's going to be an auto kill. Either way, that's every angle. He does eventually get traded off. And there's a missed shot from Guardian. So Cole's going to push forward.
From top mid and push them into the back B halls once again. 2 of them moving in to take control here, and Flamey even falling back from his position, watching out for flanks from the A site. He's going to be grouping up with these players, favoring that kind of a hit, although SK is still spread out evenly across the map. Pretty heavy commitments onto the A bomb site, but still, they were stalled out the last time they tried to go for a B hit, and if it's similar to that last time, then we'll easily be able to see enough time go up onto the board for the SK players to rotate appropriately.
It's looking like this is going to be a hit at the B bomb site, and C's, I don't think he's going to try and work his way up catwalk. He doesn't have anything to really use, so I think he might just end up being a lurker, try to cut off some rotations. But the question is, Guardian leading the way. He's got Taco close up. That's a nice find. That's the offer as well. That's huge for Navi. Now this B hit can progress. Cold and Taco are isolated here, so these entries are going to be so important. Cold responds, but he's got to hold down a little bit longer. They don't get the fetch. Guardian Cold trying to do everything he can. He's brought it into a 2-on-2.
Now the rotations are on the way. They went first, just taking the long path all the way back through T-Swan. 10 seconds left. Navi will be able to get that bomb onto the ground, mainly by the virtue of the fact that it's such a long rotate. FNX doesn't dare to push him by himself when Fur is just now getting himself into the apartments there. Trying to see if he can pick someone off, crossing from the bomb spot over towards bench 2. Won't be happening. However, Guardian's still very, very low at 37 HP, and that flank is on its way. FNX waiting for him to prime to get in a good position here. But Fur is going to move up. Now starts to look for that opening shot as he moves in. Nobody suspects him at all. The first kill completely for free. Guardian peeks out from there. Navi picking another round, and they get back out. Navi now have to split. Coldzera sneaking in. He maybe wants a little bit more. Falls back though after retrieving the weapon. He's got the op now, and that's going to be troublesome later on in the round.
Well, the one thing they can afford SK at the moment is they can put Cold somewhere with this AWP. They can stack the other site with pistols. They can say, you have the gun. We're going to trust you to be able to hold this down so we can stack the other bomb site. Give ourselves as much of an advantage as possible. Actually, he's going to be here with 2 pistol players to the B site, so they're applying pressure. And I imagine Navi is not going to want to actually attack this B site just because they know there's 2 players here, so they're going to try and go elsewhere. But still, they're trying to figure out where Cold is. That's the big goal right now because he has the AWP. They need to discover where that is on the map, and at the moment they're just flat out avoiding it.
Smart move from Navi though, as they are going to flush over to the same bomb set where only Fallen is waiting for them. And the timing on this peak could prove to be very unfortunate too. He's essentially going to be sandwiched between both of the pushes from Na'Vi as they work their way into the site. Although all of a sudden SK, they're the ones rotating. And we're not this off to support them. Fallen, looking away when the peak from C's comes in from Connector. It'll take him down. And we see the rest are going to be able to flush out pretty easily too.
That's the tough part, that kind of idea of putting the op in B and having everyone stacked over towards A came just a couple seconds too late for SK. That's too long for Fallen to be the only player on this A site trying to watch every single angle. So now they don't have any real time to get Cold over in a position to help out. Although FNX is going to try and make this happen. Headshot with it, he can't get anything more. And Cold, he might just want to sneak away. There's a good flick. And that's going to allow him to survive and just fall back. That's going to keep the remaining members of Na'Vi honest in case he's trying to go for it. Still early on at the plant, but he's already bailed out. So off going to be salvaged for SK. It's not bad, all things considered, into this round.
Well, not at all, especially considering the fairly minimal investment that they bring to the table. For the most part, just upgrading their pistols. I don't even think most of them picked up armor this time.
That Fallen shot, that was some big boy deagling. That was like Wild West, stand in the open, just flat out challenge.
Having Guardian type it in the chat there too, respect for that one. Because that was a very, very aggressive move that he makes, and it ends up paying off there too. Picking up that kill, fairly slowing the pace from Na'Vi. Duins when they're actually going to go for the executor, but there's a no rotate at all from Na'Vi. Everybody's still three, generally speaking, grouping up around the B-bomb site, but now they're going to start to move in. Guardian's a great angle to pick up some headshots here. He's going to find one, and we see Flaming Bomb get second within there too. Pick up on his CT side, and he's going to grab it here. SK gets gutted on the way into the bomb site while Coldzera will respond. He's lost his only other teammate, Taco here, and now he tries to hold in the 1v3. He'll back up behind Tetris and try to pull off the impossible.
Yeah, there's really, it's not even really planted for him whatsoever, so that's going to be a defuse, and that is one of the most beautifully executed retake defenses I've seen in a pistol in a long time. Now he shut things down, and there's a nice trade. Taco finds one, he's going to try and get up and do a little bit more. He's got control, he's forced Guardian out, but he's not going to be able to find any more kills. And this is now where SK Gaming, you say, yeah, somehow you've managed to fly yourself into a situation where you're in this round, but you have no real utility left to do it, so what can you actually do?
More damage being done here too, right? More than Na'Vi low first. It's a long-range battle, but ends up losing it. That's the bomb going down to the ground too, so now Taco has to go on a bit of a recovery mission. Thankfully, it's going to be fairly low risk. Nobody from the CT side here is in a really good area to try and deny that. So he'll be able to pick it back up, but again, the big problem becomes SK are now in a 2v4, despite the damage that's done. FNX,
it's basically a 1v4. Let's be honest. FNX 2 HP, can't really do much. I like what Navi's done with Edward. They boosted up in the site because he's also at low HP. So, you know, even though you don't have the health to take a fight, you're in this, you know, creative spot where they might not check it. You could just get a free kill.
He's been knocked out of the equation. It's still an advantage for Na'Vi. Good denial by Fallen, though. Keeps his teammate alive. On the repeat, though, gets a bit too aggressive. Guardian is going to knock him out. So it's FNX versus the world here. Keep SK in this match. A first good kill. He's going to take down. So Na'Vi will find their 14 and 2 away from taking this match.
Guardian's going to be so happy. In a 3-on-2, his teammate jumping out of the window a little bit early. It looks suspect when he gets picked off by both.
They don't have any flashbangs at all, just two decoys.
I'm not gonna put shit together.
Yeah, this is going to be so tough, and this time it seems like they're not going for any. I mean, because of the lack of utility, the lack of arsenal, it's just going to be a hit towards this A bomb site. All four players, 3 in Palace, FNX on the ramp, Coldzera at the base. There's Flamey with a nice shot. He's been stellar up the A site, but he can't get anything else done. It's now on to Guardian. They have no tools, they have no smoke to block him off. He has free reign, and he's trying to hunt down a kill, trying to bring this back into a 3-on-3, but it's not going to happen. SK not giving him anything for the moment.
Coldzera, in the meantime, still playing around with that connector position too, and he's going to hear Guardian stopping and even looks at it. But Fallen grabs the frag from inside, picks up the kill. He's going to get a free up off that more than likely too. There's a good shot from Simple to shut up Fallen. Down to a kill from Simple. He's going to have another player sitting back over here in the T-Red. The nade is going to push him down. Simple.
This push, Pip's got to be careful, and he wins that duel easily, and there's Nitro on top of it.
Wenton, lonesome for backup out on long. He's in so much trouble. They're all coming for him. He's going to pick him. Oh my God, Wenton picking up 2 massive kills, way more than he should have had, and somehow it turns into a 2-on-2. They gave him way too much respect than Liquid. They should have been able to pounce on that. They have picked up the US piece, and they still have the smokes here. They can make the cross happen. You see Nitro already putting one out for the first cross there. Lecro and Twitch on the B-bomb side, and he's going to need it. Pimp already pushing in. Lecro in the back lines here, all about in the open. He's going to drop an Elise, picking up Lecro. A great push there coming in, timed perfectly. And Fnatic just didn't have the utility. Now Hiko going to look for the pick off here. A little bit of an ugly spray coming through, but it works just fine. Taking down Wenton. And Twist and Dennis, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, especially because Hiko's on catwalk. You look how honest Dennis is. He's in the A bomb site. He knows he doesn't know how low that player is, but he can't exactly just rush over to try and retake the bomb site with his teammates. So he executions on that B site. So they're ensuring that that doesn't happen, that they have a quick rotation over. And this is a nice idea from Team Liquid, trying to see if they can get a pick. And Twist is just going to spam through, doesn't land anything. But yeah, this is, I mean, Liquid's got to figure out how to beat this retake tactic from Fnatic.
Wenton has that Molotov down on long, and I think that could be pivotal, but oh, what a shot coming out. JDM taking down Dennis, long range, AWP versus AWP fight. And now let's see, Wenton, can he get in position to put down that Molotov? Twist going to be going down, Lekro Pacheco. Oh no, Olofmeister falling as well, Lekro on it. And 2 in B, and again, no one catwalk, similar as to the Fnatic setup, except they usually end 3 towards B.
Well, this is a little bit quicker, and Pip almost gets caught out. He's very fortunate. Now he knows they're out, but he's really the only one here. JDM's going to come back to help defend, but he's in the open. Elige is here as well. 3 players for Liquid going to defend this long hit. There's the initial kill, but everything else goes for Dennis.
Lekro going to be going down. Dennis is such a monster. That flashbang setting up JDM out of the open. Oh, he picks up Twist. That's a massive frag, and he's waiting. Misses a shot, and he's going to be gone. And Dennis, look at the air control again.
This retake is going to be so tough, though. The next challenge is Olofmeister. When is he going to pounce? This is a pretty good setup for Fnatic, despite a disadvantage in manpower. Olaf, here he comes. Oh! What is that? That is dirty, and Nitro is taken out of the fight.
How could it be? It's just a UMP, but he's going to be walking up. Hiko going down. Pimp gets one, and a follow. Lekro! He's out! Pimp with the triple kill! Ladies and gentlemen, immediately afterwards, and it's looking like a similar strat as the last time. Olaf and upper, 4 men in middle, and this time Liquid do not have a good setup for it. It's going to be Nitro, the first and early warning here with the AWP. He's going to see the grenades coming in, and there's a kill. Tags up one, goes for a second. Nitro picking up the double. Is there more to come? He's close range now. Hiko dropping Olofmeister. This is it. Team Liquid, they're in a 1-on-5, and Nitro for the triple kill.